Congratulations.
It's a view to a kill. Welcome back to Mr. Alright Movie Reviews and our Bond Rewind series. Today we are wrapping up Roger Moore's era with A View to a Kill, his 1985 farewell as 007. With a pop banger theme, a wild villain and 80s flash. Does this send off soar or stumble? Let's unpack the tech, stunts and Moore's exit in 5 minutes.
Liar!
It's never 5 minutes. This film blasts off with Duran Duran's A View to a Kill, a synth pop hit that topped the US Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 in the UK chart. The first thing my mum said to me when I said I was watching this last night was, turn it up so I can hear theme through your bedroom door. Its electric energy and catchy hooks make it the only Bond theme to hit number 1 in the US, which, although not being an Oscar-winning song like Adele's Skyfall, for example, is in itself a remarkable achievement to top those US charts, or the Billboard Hot 100, whatever. Wow, it's a new wave classic that outshines the movie, definitely, giving Moore's finale a vibrant, danceable kick. Roger Moore, though, at age 57, delivers his final 007. Leaning on his suave charm, but definitely showing his age, as if it wasn't already shown in The Spy Who Loved Me. In A View to a Kill, he is a polished spy with quips aplenty, but the physical demands, like the horse chases, they just feel strained, comparing to his Spy Who Loved Me peak. Yeah, literally, that's funny. Moore's wit and charisma still shine, hooking audiences with his gentlemanly flair, but you can't help but feel really uncomfortable but when he is in the shower in the end scene with Stacey Sutton. With Moore himself joking that the Bond girls at his age were almost young enough to be his grandchildren. You know, at least he recognised it and could jest about it, right? I don't want to sound like I'm having a go at a great, fantastic actor who has unfortunately passed away, but yeah, he shouldn't have been in this film. It's a nostalgic send-off, cementing his era's campy legacy, but definitely signalling a time for change. Moore is joined by Christopher Walken as Max Zorin, a psychotic tech mogul with wild energy, and he kills it.
This'll hurt him more than me.
Are you sure about that?
I've never seen much of Walken's work before, but I know he's universally beloved for the way he embraces and dives into his roles completely. And this, for me, was a top 3 Bond villain, rivaling my favourite of Le Chiffre. Grace Jones also joins us and shines as Mayday, a fierce henchwoman who is just as badass in real life, because yes, she did the swan dive off the Eiffel Tower herself. It wasn't a stunt woman, it was her. That is flipping awesome. Yeah, I would love to just meet Grace Jones and be like, yeah, you are a legend. Because, yeah, no, she was brilliant.
Get Zorin for me!
Mayday! Jump!
Honestly, this era had the best hench people. I'm gonna have to say that because henchwomen and henchman. Hench people. Jaws and Mayday are fantastic. I love them. They're brilliant. Don't get me wrong, I know there's Oddjob with the top hat who's awesome as well, but yeah, no, these guys were brilliant. And Mayday had some really interesting depth as well, being in love with Zorin, who was completely psychotic, and then being betrayed and being so hurt by that. Yeah, well, I'm not going to say that because I'll get demonetized. Tanya Roberts' Stacey Sutton is a divisive damsel in distress though, but I thought she was great, apart from the forced sexual tension with her and Bond. Obviously, that's not her fault, that is the writers. Moore knew it, and I expect she probably knew it too, but when you are young and approached with being in a Bond movie, and you're told, yeah, you got to be in love with Bond, are you going to say, no, he's too old and it's a bit morally dubious? No, you're not going to take a fucking paycheck, mate. Fair play to her. The plot follows Bond stopping Zorin's plan to flood Silicon Valley for microchip dominance.
I would have expected the KGB to celebrate if Silicon Valley had been destroyed.
On the contrary, Admiral. Where would Russian research be without it?
Gadgets include a ring camera, no, not the one on your front door.
Hello, look, my dog's just had like a sloppy outside. I was just wondering if you got some water. I don't want to leave it outside your front pot. It is.
One on his ring, and a Polaroid scanner. The Golden Gate Bridge climax and fire truck chase are bold set pieces. Me and my mum were discussing it this morning. I know I always bring up my mum, but she loves Bond, and I love Bond, and I love my mum. Yeah, no, we were discussing this morning, and I think what was really cool is how Zorin's lair was essentially his blimp. I just thought that was awesome. He could float around. You know, he had his massive chateau, don't get me wrong, but yeah, he could float around in there, and yeah, it was just awesome. I loved the blimp, and the big at the end. I actually really enjoyed this film. And fun fact, Walken's unhinged performance was a casting coup. And the film's tech focus predicted the digital age that we're in today, which is quite something for 1985. It's 40 years old now. A View to a Kill capped Moore's era, blending Octopussy's spectacle with tech-driven stakes, moving from Cold War plots to modern threats. Zorin's villainy echoes Moore's love for the larger-than-life foe, and although he's way past his age, I think Walken's outstanding performance helps carry this era to a close. But in my opinion, it did actually kind of shoot Dalton's grittier pivot in the foot by leaving fans still expecting a spectacle. A View to a Kill grossed $152 million on a $30 million budget. A hit, but weaker than Octopussy again, and yeah, it's just a gradual decline. It scored 37% from critics and 40% from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes, which is dismal. It is praised for Walker's Zorin and the theme, but slammed for a weak plot and Moore's age. Fans love the music and villain, but call it dated, often citing it as Moore's weakest entry. A View to a Kill has its moments though. Duran Duran's theme is fire, and Walker's Zorin is gloriously unhinged. The action, like the bridge climax, popped, and I actually like the plot because it's focused on chip technology ruling the world. It's very realistic, especially like, for example, when you see China going after Taiwan because they produce majority of the world's chips. It's really interesting, I think, because it's very accurate to world tensions today. But Moore does feel tired in this film, and he's very clearly outpaced by the younger energy. Grace Jones is a highlight, but I wish Dalton had started in this film. It's a fun but flawed farewell, and I genuinely think that it all hinges on Moore's age. As much as I love his Bond from his earlier movies, yeah, I just think it really dragged the whole lot of it down. But still, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for its bold villain, great music, great set pieces, great plot, just with the old man Bond really not fitting it. Is this a campy classic? I want your opinions in the comments below. Did you like A View to a Kill like I do? Or do you think it shouldn't have happened at all and they should have just scrapped it and started Dalton earlier? That is A View to a Kill done and Roger Moore's era wrapped up. Next time is On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the one-off film for George Lazenby. So if the Bond Rewind series has got you buzzing, smash like and subscribe for our 26th episode ranking. You can binge my playlist of all my videos in the description below, but you can also see on my channel a playlist for the Bond Rewind series. A huge thank you to Jagex for allowing us to use old school RuneScape music as creators, as background music. I think that's just awesome. But thank you for sticking around and watching to the end. You are a legend for helping my engagement. Stay alright, my friend. Take care, and I will see you next time for George Lazenby.